Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back for another recording of Hearthstone. So, in what could only be described as a comedy of errors, I was able to delete the data from my cell phone, reinstall it, play and do a watch and learn, so I got a pack. And to having deleted all the data, that pretty much means I have to find out all my passwords and everything as far as the Blizzard authenticator, set that back up again because I have two accounts, so apparently I didn't have the authenticator set up for uh, for either account quite right, or it wasn't synchronized or nothing, so it's been about an hours of just BS security. On the other hand, though, I would say my security must be pretty good if I can't even get in it myself. So I'll take that as a good thing. Uh, there's a joke, if I can't remember my password, that's the old me fooling the new me. Or past me fooling future me. There still is definitely a flaw as far as Blizzard's and their Battle.net setup, in that they just don't allow passwords longer than 16 characters, and my normal password that I use, or my system to generate a unique password for each thing that I use, goes into 21, 26 characters. And I run into some websites that are just like, nope, that's too long. And I'm like, why is it too long? Why can't my password be as long as I want it to be? Doesn't that add security? Aren't we working together on the same point? But I don't know. Anyways, we've got the watch and learn. We opened that. Now we just need to get a major shaman victory. So let's play a shaman now. I also got challenged, by the way, by Y21 while I was Y24. He challenged me and we played there. This was Shaman, right? That we were needed? Yeah. He just challenged me to a game and I said fine, I'll just play him as I was sitting there. And he beat me. What can I say? Beat me. Let's get into what we are talking about though. I have completely done everything with Lego Batman 3 now. Lego Batman 3 was a really good Lego game. It still had some problems. It still crashed in a couple places. It still had some experiments that should have been left on the cutting room floor. But, I mean, they're really getting it down and making a decent game there. So I was very happy with it. The Lego Batman series, which is going to air for quite a long time, is an example of just how much progress they've made. Lego Batman 1 is awful. Lego Batman 2 is alright, but still has a lot of problems. And Lego Batman 3 is a lot better than 2, but still has just a few problems. And that's all good to know.
One day, I'll be a real
puts us towards, if there was a Lego Batman 4, which there probably should be, and it should be more focused on Batman, since Lego Batman 3 wasn't really focused on Batman at all. Like, Batman 4 should be close to a perfect game, hopefully. And I'd like to see them spread out and do some of the other DC characters too. That's really where we're going to start to... I'm saying the word really too much, but we're going to start to really feel... I can't stop myself, can I? We're going to start to feel it out as far as how popular the DC universe is going to get. There's really... There's a couple of ways DC could go. It could be that DC just is at the beginning or in the middle of a slow spiral downward, and in a couple of decades the DC won't stand for anything, will be known for anything, may not even publish books anymore. Comic books, that's a possibility, not a guarantee, but definitely a possibility of what could happen. Or these DC movies come out and they start to really catch some attention, which is also a possibility, but not a guarantee. From what I've heard, rumors of the few people who've seen Batman vs Superman, it's an alright movie, but it's probably not to the level of what the first Iron Man was. And the first Iron Man was the thing that started off Marvel's success as it is here. Now that being said, one must also take note that
Did you bring some fish?
that before Iron Man there were 2 Hulk movies, so they potentially, in the comparison alone, may have some buffer there, where they could make a couple of bad movies. That is, if you exclude all of the Batman movies that have been coming out for decades and decades as part of your calculation, which I'm not sure that would be the fairest of ways to count it.
Elements I like. Totems I love.
I could do 4 damage here, but not enough, so I'm gonna end my turn. So, yeah, there's definitely a possibility there. I think also you're probably not getting the full picture if you just directly equate DC movie success to the success of DC in general, because the DC cartoons have been successful for a while. They're just not pulling enough interest into them that they alone would save the ship.
Totally.
Killed. This guy in the face. But I've said it before, Mirror's Edge with a Flash character would work really well. You could practically put Wonder Woman in any standard Tomb Raider game and it would work alright. There's at least the basics there that you could start working on. I mean, I could easily see Rise of the Tomb Raider starring Wonder Woman. She'd just be deflecting bullets back instead of shooting at them, or maybe she would just pick up the gun and shoot at them. Well, not that we have to always have gun shooting in the game. So, yeah, you can do something with that. Cyborg, I mean, Cyborg could work easily in any open world game like Watch Dogs. Here, can I
can see
this and play? It didn't let me have my victory there. I hate when they do that. And my Hearthstone deck tracker is not working. As soon as it messes up now, it's just not switching over, even though I have it set to auto select things. Sorry about that. The pop-up in this latest version obviously has a bug. And I like more DC games, really. Marvel has Lego Marvel games, and then there's Disney Infinity has the Marvel characters, and then every now and then some other company is allowed to make 1 or 2 other Marvel games, so you can have
versus
like 4 or 5 Marvel games potentially come out in 1 or 2 years.
For Doomhammer.
Versus DC, yeah, DC does almost none of that. And that's kind of strange. Like, when was the last DC? Well, the last DC thing was Batman Arkham Knight, which was a huge failure for PCs, and they just put it out there. The problem there is WB, Warner Brothers. They own the rights to it, and they don't care about it. And thus, they haven't taken that seed and nurtured it. Instead, they've taken that seed and squeezed it down to make bitter olive oil that not that many people want. Hey, that was a pretty good example there, if I don't say so myself. So, anyways, I finished Lego Batman 3. Now I'm playing The Mirror Mysteries TM, which is confusing to me quite a bit, because for any video game people to try to claim a trademark, I don't think it's gonna work, and I don't know what lawyer would have told them to try and claim a trademark. Anyways, they should have just claimed a copyright, which by default everybody has anyways for anything they create. But if you're gonna claim a trademark for the phrase "The Mirror Mysteries," there would have been no prior art, so the phrase "Mirror Mysteries" would have never had to been spoken whatsoever in a field similar. So as far as software, so I can pretty much guarantee you that's not true. You would have to sue everybody else who uses the phrase "The Mirror Mysteries" or anything similar to the Mirror Mysteries, so the Mirror Question, the Mirror Conundrum, anything similar at all, or the Reflective Mysteries, the Looking Glass Mystery. I mean, it's such a generic name to try to claim a trademark is ridiculous. But the game was made by like 5 people, so I imagine they just didn't know what they were doing at all. Really. Which is weird. Definitely weird. Let's see. Just keep on hitting the face, I think. A bloodlust next turn might win this game for me. Anyways, to describe the Mirror Mysteries, it is rather kind of ambitious at the beginning because it has voice acting and like cutscenes, and it's just a hidden object game. Looks like a cell phone port, runs at 4:3 screen ratio, I can't record it in full screen mode, but it's not really at 1080p even if it was. Let's see, how do we want to do this?
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Job's done.
So, I mean, but it has voice acting. It's in the middle of the game. It's trying to connect all the different scenes together as if there was an actual story. The story's not great or interesting at all, but the main motivator at the beginning of the story is just so strange because
Run away!
this family moves to a new home. The mother falls asleep on the lawn. She goes in the house, finds that her kids have been trapped in this magical mirror, and the mirror is forcing her to go through these hidden object puzzle things to set the world's scenes back to the way they were, to get the mirror pieces that were broken allegedly by the kids. So there's like 8 standing mirrors, like a full dresser mirror. You're talking 4, 5, 6 feet long mirrors, 8 of them in a room, and the kids, apparently 2 little kids, broke all 8 of them immediately upon entering the house. That seems pretty pretty extreme. And you can either assume two things from that. Either those kids are the worst little brats you've ever had, and possibly not even worth saving, or they knew something about the mirrors that otherwise, and they broke them for a good reason, or they didn't break them at all, and the mirror just kidnapped the kids to force the mother to get them back. And since she fell asleep before any of this happened, we assume there's a decent chance it's all a dream anyways. But you really just don't need that motivating factor. So instead of the story being this interesting tale in which you could have just found a mirror, done an Alice in Wonderland, gone through the Looking Glass type stuff, you're now talking about how you're angry at the mirror for forcing you to do this, how he's awful. The mirror seems pretty evil to begin with, to do something like this, but it's also kind of sometimes pops in and tells you things that the main character, the mother that you play as, should just say herself. The mother hasn't talked about herself or her kids at all, so we don't have any real connection to it. And it just seems so unnecessary.
We must
it's like
cleanse the sun
if you started a movie and they just killed a couple kids for no reason, which they certainly have done in movies. The kick the dog scenes. There's a save the cat scenes, and I think they're called kick the dog scenes, where the bad guy just kicks a dog or something similar, because we want them to know, the show wants you to know that they're the bad guys. Alright.
Fine, I'll want.
Let's see, how can we do this?
Do not push me.
I mean, it's just so unnecessary. So I'm going through this hidden object game. It's not going to take super long. Now, by default, the game is like $5. It's not what, $5? Maybe $1.99 on sale. If you got the road you want to pay. I hope I paid only like 99 cents. I could very easily have only paid less than 99 cents for it. And that's about the length of it, it seems like. The first mirror, the first world, as it were, had like 5 scenes. It was sort of long, not particularly difficult. As far as a hidden object game, it's actually very easy because it has a magnifier that then kind of opens it up to have things really, really small that you couldn't even see without the magnifier. And then again, of course, I'm sitting far away from my TV anyway, so the magnifier kind of helps and hurts at the same time. But then it also has a timed hint system, and you can almost practically sit there and click non-stop. Eventually, if you click too much, the screen will start cracking. But so at the first world it felt kind of long, but then the second world there was only 4 scenes, and then the third world there was only like 3, and then the next one seems like there's only 3
One day,
too.
I'll be
So
a real knight.
there's just this feeling that it's getting shorter and shorter as we proceed. I don't know really what you can do with hidden object games though. I don't know if you can make something like The Witness and have it something that big. I guess you can. In fact, if you think about it, The Witness may very well be a hidden object game. It does have the second style of puzzles, but if those weren't there, the secret perception puzzles are hidden objects, aren't they? That you're walking around the 3D environment to find them. And I was wondering about that. If you did make a world that was just full of assets. So you went
Some
crazy on the
call
Unity or Unreal store, and you got all kinds of free assets, and you just tried to fill rooms with stuff. Kind of like you might, you can
One
see
day,
similar
I'll be
things.
a real knight.
Let's see, where like Skyrim, if you fill, some people have filled rooms with objects in Skyrim, and Skyrim is in itself full of assets that are everywhere that you can pick up. So if you just had a 3D environment where you could pick up things, you can move things, and you're looking for very specific items, that
I hope
would
you
be
like my invention.
great. But I think you would have to have something. You would have to have some kind of system that reset the world, because you would have save files as large as Skyrim's, which were huge and got bigger and bigger as you played, to save where all the things are after you move them or bumped into them.
Run away!
And if the game is to find things amongst many other things, it wouldn't be. It would be very, very difficult for people to cooperate and find solutions if everybody has moved the one apple they're looking for far, far away. So you'd have to walk in a room and have like a reset button that set the room back the way it was. It would almost be the opposite of a portal level, where portal levels are immaculate and empty of things usually, but that would be interesting. And if there were some of that in the Witness, you potentially would have had a third way of playing, expanded it a little bit more, given some more thought. Of course, the Witness's perceptions puzzles would have been turned into nightmares if you could have put something in the way of that one point where you were supposed to see a perception puzzle. That's why things aren't really movable. At least that's what I would guess. But in general, you kind of want some kind of story. They usually want some kind of story in hidden object games. I don't know why. Usually it doesn't work that well because the games will become something like 100 floors or 100 doors, where it's just like, here's a different door, here's a different door, here's a different floor, and nothing is connected. Even in Mirror Mysteries, the first level is this clockwork world where you're trying to fix a cuckoo clock. The second one, you're in this frozen kingdom, and this third one, you're in this lava kingdom with a cyclops troll. Fourth one, you're in an underground kingdom with a dwarf, and it just reeks of too much fantasy all at once. Because remember, you start off in the real world. Let's see. Whoops, this.
I enjoy raiding!
I'm gonna lose here. Don't get me wrong, I'm still losing. It's over 5 o'clock now, and we still haven't got that update. I don't think we're gonna get this update to pre-order the 50 packs today. The announcement said that, but I don't think so. I think we're gonna get that one patch, which is gonna let us do a few things, but that's it. Maybe there's something on the website where you can pre-order the packs, and that's the deal. But whatever. I mean, that's not worth it. Well, actually, it would be worth it if that was the case. I should research it a little bit, because if I can go and make an announcement saying, hey, if you're looking for this thing, go to the website and pre-order it. If you're just desperate to pre-order.
Handle it!
So, I'm pretty sure, looking at the numbers, compared to my first announcement versus my second announcement, which were very close together, I'm pretty sure it's the word announcement that gets me most of the views.
I enjoy
more than
raiding.
anything else. That would be my guess, at least. But it's hard to tell because, like I said, the first announcement and the last announcement were like 8 minutes apart, 10 minutes apart. But I think what happens is people go into Google and they go to YouTube and they type in Hearthstone announcement and maybe some other words, but the main two that get typed up are Hearthstone and announcement, and that's why I'm getting those clicks and those views. So, does that mean if I just typed in Hearthstone announcement and nothing else, would that video always come up? I don't believe so. No, because I bet YouTube and Google's search engine has some keywords there, like announcements, where it's like, well, we want to promote the things that are the newest videos
For Doomhammer.
close to that. I'm still not doing very good. I'm glad I didn't bother to record myself playing and doing the watch and learn. It was just me playing as priest with a very basic deck. I haven't even unlocked. It is kind of a blast from the past, but also you're playing with such low-level players that it's also somewhat of an easy victory. It wasn't super easy though. It still took effort. Let's see. I suppose this is the right move. Yep, I figured you would do that. I guess I should be talking instead of just sitting there thinking. So, let's see. Do I want to play something like this? Or do I want to play something like this? Guess I'll play something like that.
Tazdingo! Yes!
What if I did play in classic? Like, it's not called classic, it's called standard, but what if I did play in standard? Would that really turn things around? My win-lose ratio here?
Job's done.
I don't know. I won't know until I play it, but the real issue is that standard doesn't really solve the problem for just bad players any better than Wild that we're playing now with us. Because there still will be tons of good players that can play the classic cards and 2 years of expansions. There's still tons of cards there. What they needed to have done is done a basic only ranking. Why didn't they introduce that while they were at it? Just say, we're going to make 3, and we're going to have a very basic one where you can only play with classic cards, and thus that's for total brand new players. And then let the people who play that be so get eventually bored out of playing like that, and then they would eventually move on to standard or wild. See, that's the real deal, is they need a classic only set, just no expansions. Even though Call of Cthulhu doesn't seem like it's going to have any really wild cards, but I have only seen 6 of them, so I really don't know anything about that.
Fine, I'll hear.
It's still gonna have the Grand Tournament cards in it, and it's still gonna have not Nexramas but League of Explorers in it, and one other. So yeah, Grand Tournament, League of Explorer cards is still in standard. That's still enough cards for somebody to probably more often than they should kick my butt at Hearthstone. I mean, it's days like this
I enjoy
I think,
raiding.
why do I put
One
up
day,
with this?
I'll be a real knight.
Well, why don't I just stop?
Fine, I'll want.
That might very well become
Fine,
the
I'll
case,
want.
actually.
Job's done.
I can see it now. I hadn't really thought about it until this second, but if this whole dialysis stuff comes up, I could just stop playing Hearthstone and recording that. I could lose quests, not have as much gold. I mean, this ruins my views. Yeah, which pretty much means I can't do what I'm dreaming about doing right now. But if people stopped watching my Hearthstone announcement videos, and I would totally just stop playing. When I put out an announcement video, it got me like 4 views, but all my other videos were getting 400 views. Yeah, I would stop right then and there, no problem, no issue whatsoever.
Elements I like. Totems I love.
Fine, I'll want.
Job's done.
Yeah, I don't see how I can stop Hearthstone though.
Squire, attend me.
I almost convinced myself
Ready,
I
sir.
could.
What
there.
you want?
I almost convinced myself I could. I really can't. Not as long as these announcement videos get views. And the view numbers are higher than what I get for everything else. So if people wanted me to stop making Hearthstone videos, do me a favor there. You would definitely be doing me a favor. On 14. Darn it. Here we go. Get rid of that one.
Totally.
Get rid of that one. That one. In return, heal everything up.
By the power of Ragnaros.
Can I pull this around? Can I save this? I don't think I can. Nope, that's what I thought. I'm surprised you chose attack though. I would have gone health and taunt. How's this work? 7, 14. Oops. I should have done this first, and then killed this one. Mistake there. Of course he's gonna play this, and with that play, he's won. And all we're trying to do is a shaman attack here. Let's see. If I did 6 plus 5, I could take out that guy, and then that I mean, we might as well.
Well played.
Might as well just have Spike take that guy out. So I guess his Savage Roar is better than my Bloodlust card. By far. Because it gives 2 more attack to attack to the hero, which would mean I would on average need 2 more characters in play, or at least 1 more character in play as a shaman than a new druid on average has. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I guess it's close, but you do have to summon 1 more character to play Bloodlust, and it'd be more effective than getting that +2 to your head. It's pretty evenly balanced, actually. Well, let's see. What's the count for this episode? No victories?
1 shot, 1.
Yeah, that's right. Just want to make sure. Oh man.
One day,
It's so
I'll be a
frustrating.
real knight.
It's so frustrating. And I don't really get the breaks that I can get from other games. Other games, I mean, I've played 3 Lego Batman games right in a row because I really haven't played them right in a row. I've played other games in between. So, yeah. I need to do this, I guess.
We're using real
Go ahead and
swords.
just build it up. But as far as Hearthstone, it's every freaking 3 days.
Charge
I wish there was something you could do where we could just, like, surrender a quest and get half of its gold. If you just go in the program and actually click a button, just a simple button, something guaranteed. I don't know how you really would go about and do it.
We're using real swords.
Never have I played a game that is just so not about guaranteeing a victory. I mean, I could play for a year straight and not win once. It's feasible. It's not likely, but it's feasible that that could happen.
1 shot,
And
1.
no game should do that. There should be something I could do. Where I could play in practice mode and get the quest stuff. Or a solo player mode. Something. Anything, please.
One day, I'll be a real knight.
Begging you, game. I'm begging you. Should I play another thing, or should I play this?
Did you bring some fish?
We're using real swords.
Hit that one in the face. I could have killed that one and gotten healed back up if I felt the need.
For the war chief!
I need people to friend me just to like lose against me. But I don't think if we play normally and do a friendly challenge, I don't think you can do quests there either. Ooh, that should be my next investigation, shouldn't it? Ooh, that might work quite well actually. I will have to see if perhaps in my other lineup I can
We're using
challenge
real swords.
my other login and we can
We're
just
using
play, and then
real
my other
swords.
login
Job's
would
done.
lose. of course, that would be terribly boring to do on screen, but it would be an incredible time saver if I've already given up and done my 3 recordings. Instead of right now, what happens is I give up and then I just keep on playing, start listening to a podcast or something. This guy was given charge by... No? Nobody? I thought he got charged somehow. Let's do this. Let's go and just play this.
Elements I like. Totems I love.
We're using real swords. We're using real swords.
Alright, bloodless next turn, we'll get at least a victory here. At least one victory. And then that's gonna be it for this recording. I need to play off screen though, so I'm gonna do that experiment. Play off screen, see if I can challenge myself, and see if that works. That would certainly double up progress for the 2 accounts. Not that I really care about making progress or gold for my second account, but would help a little bit. Alright, 3, so that makes up 4, 7, 10. There we go. Bloodlust. Play. Attack. 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 And
We're using
attack.
real swords.
See, sometimes I can get victories on the rare. So we got one quest done. So we'll come back next recording and I'll do a little bit of experimenting and see if I can get 3 victories in here with the Druid and Hunter by playing myself. That would be rather interesting. Anywho, that's gonna be it for this recording. Ah, here's the pre-purchase thing. So that thing just came out of nowhere. So that's something new. I have an announcement video now to make as soon as possible. So, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.